Working on wind turbines is not a task for the faint of heart. You are hundreds of feet above the earth, exposed to the elements, and expected to work with precision and composure, regardless of the circumstances. The field is replete with unpredictable challenges that necessitate not only technical expertise, but also mental resilience, physical fitness, and an extraordinary capacity to solve problems on the spot. This guide provides a comprehensive examination of the essential skills and strategies required to succeed in the field, including the use of innovative techniques and lessons that are not typically taught in a classroom. 1. Working in extreme conditions. When Mother Nature is your most fierce colleague, extreme environments are frequently encountered by wind turbine technicians who are required to endure lashing rain, frigid temperatures, and gusting winds. Even though turbines are incapable of spinning in dangerously high winds, numerous sites necessitate routine inspections or emergency shutdowns, even in less than optimal weather conditions. Imagine attempting to perform fine motor tasks, such as torquing bolts or repairing a cracked blade tip, while the nacelle trembles in the breeze and your gloves become frozen solid. Wind. The wind is consistent, however, surges exceeding 40 kilometers per hour can rapidly transform a routine ascent into a high-risk endeavor. In order to ensure safety, technicians utilize redundancy systems in harnesses. However, the ability to remain stable while working on swaying platforms necessitates more than just equipment. It necessitates experience, determination, and effective collaboration. Precipitation. Slippery ladders and damp tools are the result of wet surfaces. Water consistently penetrates the impermeable shells that the majority of technicians wear over their equipment. It becomes a daily struggle to manage soggy mittens or foggy visors. Additionally, electric components necessitate additional safeguards, frequently necessitating inventive tarp arrangements or temporary shelters to prevent short circuits during operations. Cold. Cold is a distinct entity. Hydraulic lines become stiff, battery performance is diminished, and hands become numb, even when wearing thick mittens in sub-zero temperatures. In order to maintain the functionality of their equipment, certain personnel keep chemical hand warmers in their pockets or install small heated pads within tool pouches. Ice on blades or tower staircases is a genuine hazard in regions such as Canada or Scandinavia, rendering ascent routes treacherous in the absence of appropriate de-icing protocols. Despite this, wind technicians persist in their efforts, motivated by the knowledge that renewable energy is not impeded by inclement weather, as well as by the constraints of their schedules and budgets. 2. Quick fixes, field hacks that work, smart shortcuts that keep you going. Every minute counts. When you are suspended 100 meters in the air and realize that you have left a specific torque bit on the ground, you must learn to improvise. Quick fixes are not about compromising quality or safety. They are about operating more efficiently. These field hacks have been transmitted from veteran to novice in the same manner as sacrosanct survival lore. Lifesavers are zip ties. Zip ties can temporarily secure wiring or hoses out of the way during repairs or inspections, although they are not a substitute for appropriate mounts. In an emergency, they can be used to attach makeshift covers or seal torn gloves when combined with duct tape. Field utility equals magnets plus carabiners. A retractable clip equipped with a small neodymium magnet can intercept falling nuts or bolts in midair before they vanish into a yaw platform vacuum. Carabiners that are attached to gear loops facilitate the organization of tools and minimize the need for fumbling during critical moments. Marking cables with tape. Color-coded tape can be used to temporarily identify hot, neutral, or defective lines during electrical diagnostics, which is significantly more efficient than using labels or waiting for a printout. The use of torque indicators. Certain technicians maintain their torque indicator caps for fasteners that are color-coded. The colored cap functions as a visual marker and expedites team inspections after a fastener is torqued to the specified level. DIY tool modifications. One of the more inventive workarounds is the modification of Allen keys with shrink-wrap grips to improve their winter handling, or by slightly shaving them down to accommodate stubborn bolt recesses. Although these expedient solutions do not serve as a substitute for training, they serve as evidence of the rapid thinking and adaptability that field experience fosters. Time is of the essence in the field, and each minute that is conserved securely is a victory for the entire team. Third, subjects that are not covered in training, real-world wisdom from the summit of the tower. The fundamentals of rope rescue, turbine anatomy, and electrical safety are imparted during training. However, the distinction between a novice and an experienced field technician is the subsequent experience that occurs after the classroom. Real-world turbine labor imparts a knowledge that no course can adequately prepare you for. The ability to interact with others is critical. You are not permitted to select your tower companion. You will be climbing alongside individuals with a variety of personalities, attitudes, and cultural backgrounds. One day you are partnered with a methodical perfectionist, and the next with an individual who operates on impulse and speed. In order to maintain a high level of morale, share responsibilities, and communicate effectively, it is essential to practice these skills for 10 hours in confined spaces. Have faith in your gut and your checklist. The majority of catastrophes are not the result of a lack of knowledge, but rather of overconfidence or the disregard of minor warning signs. The attitude of "it will be fine" is perilous. You will acquire the ability to verify gear configurations twice, question the validity of uncertain anchor points, and speak up when something appears to be amiss, even if it means delaying the task. The gear game is real. The manuals specify the necessary instruments. The field instructs you on the instruments that are essential. As time progresses, you will develop a kit that is compact, efficient, and customized to your preferences. How about that single multi-tool that you currently possess? It has the potential to save a day's worth of labor. What is the name of the secondary battery pack? It could mean the difference between recording data and descending to recharge. Fatigue strikes rapidly. Tower climbs are exceedingly taxing. Your body begins to express itself through cramps and pains, following consecutive 12-hour shifts. Technicians acquire the ability to regulate their energy levels by determining the appropriate time to hydrate, the type of food to consume prior to a climb, and the modification of their climbing cadence to conserve energy. Some individuals even develop breathing rhythms to assist with extended vertical ascents. The process of learning is continuous. The turbine sector undergoes rapid development. New blade materials, enhanced torque specifications, and safer rope access methods. The list is never-ending. The most effective field technicians are perpetual learners, incorporating suggestions from their colleagues, adhering to manufacturers' updates, and even conducting their process evaluations to identify areas for improvement. These teachings are not derived from textbooks. They are derived from the quiet triumph of resolving a problem that no manual had prepared you for, creative thinking under pressure, and moments of tension. 4. The unseen face of wind energy. A little bit of madness, camaraderie, and grit. A peculiar blend of engineer, adventurer, and monk is present in the essence of every wind technician. You spend days inside steel structures, gazing down at valleys, oceans, and fields, all while managing sensitive electronics and 300-pound gear packs. You are both sequestered and a member of a crew. You reside in suitcases and occasionally tents, despite your employment on the cutting edge of renewable energy. During downtime, technicians exchange tales about portable stoves, trade snack hacks, peanut butter is the winner, and pass the time by playing cards or tightening rope knots in the dark. The climb is always the climb, and there is respect for it, as well as rivalry in torque accuracy and hilarity in shared exhaustion. On certain days, you must contend with frozen fasteners and rattling nacelles. On other days, you witness the sunrise from a height of 300 feet, with only the wind and silence for company. It is a physically and mentally taxing occupation that is hazardous and unsanitary. However, it is also exciting, meaningful, and replete with moments that cannot be replicated from behind a workstation. Concluding remarks. Field-tested, tech-proven. The role of a wind turbine technician is not solely reliant on technical expertise. It also requires adaptability, endurance, and a substantial amount of field knowledge. There are numerous obstacles, including apparatus malfunctions at the most inopportune times and howling wind conditions. However, those who prosper in this environment are aware of the secret. Each obstacle serves as an opportunity to develop, learn, and fortify the invisible connection between turbine and technology. It is the life of a quiet pioneer, a climber, and a problem solver. An individual who confronts disorder with composure, transforms hacks into habits, and recognizes that genuine mastery commences beyond the training manual. Welcome to the arena,